Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. Hi, Allison. I'm in the planning stages of my private practice. As I think about starting to network with other professionals, especially medical providers, how can I go about adequately vetting them as trustworthy? I care about building referral relationships with providers whom I'd feel comfortable sending my clients to, but how do I know that without being seen by them myself? Thank you. So before I answer this, I would like to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. They are the #1 rated electronic health record system available today. With live telephone support 7 days a week, it is clear why Therapy Notes is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot and has a 5-star rating on Google. Therapy Notes makes billing, scheduling, note-taking, and telehealth incredibly easy. And now for all you prescribers out there, Therapy Notes is proudly introducing ePrescribe. If you're coming from another EHR, Therapy Notes makes the transition incredibly easy, importing your demographic data free of charge so you can get going right away. Find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know. Use promo code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com for 2 free months. Okay, so you won't always know until you meet them. And I'm going to speak generally to therapists or to networking in general, but we are going to get specific to medical professionals in a second. I've met tons of therapists that I wouldn't personally see because they wouldn't be a good fit for me, but would certainly send clients to. There are very few therapists I'm clear I won't refer to. This is why I really appreciate networking with people instead of just going by reputation. I can get a real feel. I can ask the questions that are pertinent to my client population and just notice how the whole interaction feels for me. Now, medical professionals are a different ballgame. It's unlikely that you're going to get much face time with a doctor, for instance, unless they are just starting their practice and they have time. I got really lucky once and I had coffee with a doctor whose practice was new. Now, I'm an eating disorder therapist. Doctors, unless they have special interest in eating disorders, may have one class about eating disorders in med school. Most areas or some areas have eating disorder nonprofits that do a lot of the work educating doctors on specific labs or presentation, treatment of clients with eating disorders, but some don't, most don't, I would say. This doctor and I had some very specific to my niche disagreements as soon as we'd gotten past the pleasantries. So if you have a niche that you are more educated about than the doctor you're working with, do not kowtow to your programming that doctors are the authority or that they know more than you. If you have been studying something for years or decades and they've literally had one class about it, trust your expertise. Or do the best you can. Earlier in my career, even with the same knowledge, I might not have been able to stand up to him for my clients. But I felt like I needed to be an advocate in that situation more than I needed to be somebody he referred to. And suffice to say, we never referred to each other. And when I heard from clients later who had worked with him about their experience with him, I was not surprised. It is so valuable to network with people who end up being bad fits, because then you know that you're not referring to them for a reason. Ultimately, I've had to rely on reputation most of the time with medical professionals, and the opinions that I trust the most aren't my mom's or my friends. It's my clients. So when my clients talk about their experiences at doctor's offices, which comes up a lot in eating disorder work, I listen. I reach out to their doctors, especially the ones that get glowing reviews, and sometimes exchange quick phone calls. My clients progressing in their goals and the updates that I provide their doctors lead to referrals to me from their doctor, because they see this client or this patient of mine is getting better and they're having a good experience in therapy. So I'll get the referrals from those doctors. I've found that a lot of doctors the ones that my clients like do have the humility to know that they don't have a lot of training or experience working with people with eating disorders. And they'll ask me, they'll say like, I got some labs. Are these the labs that you see in your field that are most helpful? And then I can educate them, because as a part of a national or international organization, I have access to the studies. I can share that with them. So if I was kowtowing all the time to these medical professionals who don't have as much information as I do. Um, they wouldn't feel confident asking me those questions, and our clients might suffer as a result. Now, all this is tough when you don't have clients yet. Like, it's cyclical, right? Like, you don't know what doctors are good for your clients if you don't have any clients. So I would start with your own doctor. Let them know you're starting a practice and who you plan to work with. They know you know them. Like my kid's pediatrician will call me and check in on best practices for kids and teens with eating disorders because she really cares about doing a great job. She has me as an easy, willing resource. I only work with adults, but I have somebody in my group practice who specializes in kids and adolescents. So as a result, I'm able to stay on top of what's working. And I'm really ready with great referrals, whether it's to somebody within my group or someone outside of the group, depending on what that patient needs. So talk to other therapists you respect too. Again, good and bad reputations can sometimes spread without merit. But if someone you really trusts a provider, it's a great lead. Today's free worksheet helps you determine who to network with based on your niche so that you can be efficient and effective with your time and energy. We also have an entire how-to on networking in the Abundance Party. So you can join that today if you're ready to get started on building your practice. I hope that's helpful. If you have questions for Ask Allison, hit that link in the bio, and I'll talk with y'all soon.